Well, good morning. All right, let's get this underway. Welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. As you see here on the bottom, please share, like, and follow the live stream. Send it on to your friends and family, and let's educate the world. Let's have fun together. Let's be kind to each other, right? Let's move forward in life and have some positivity. So if you're down in the dumps, hopefully we can lift you up a little bit and bring you overall wellness. Good morning to all of you. Popping in, dropping your comments in. We are on Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, and Instagram. We've got a great show on tap for you today. We're going to interview Jennifer Warmann Bloss, and she's going to tell us about some groundbreaking information having to do with the medical side. For those of you that know about stem cell therapy, we're going to talk about exosomes, something I've never heard of. Also go a little bit more in depth on red light therapy. We'll talk about saunas. We'll talk about IV hydration therapy. We'll talk about wellness shots, all these things I need right now, and probably you all as well, as we transition from fall into winter. Julie, Sean, Kathleen, Hannah, good morning, good morning, good morning. All of you that are popping on, again, we've got a great show on tap for you today. We're also going to do a little news you can use for our immediate area. I just want to give you a heads up. If you travel on 141 in the southbound direction, you cannot access eastbound 44. They've got that closed down already. I told you yesterday to be aware of the flooding possibilities, and they are prepping for that. You know, in some areas of the country, we're talking about wildfires. And then in our immediate area, we're talking about flooding concerns. So here's the forecast for you for the next 10 days in our immediate St. Louis area. Thursday, today, 59 for your high, 43 for the low, 63, so a little warmer tomorrow, which is nice, but still have the flooding issues, 47 for the low. Saturday, you've got a chance of rain, 62, and then we've got 67. I mean, look, it's actually going to warm up as you get into next week. Veterans Day is 67, 71 for the high on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and next Saturday in the upper to low to mid 60s. But again, the big issue is going to be flooding for our area as they do the preparations. Major concern, in fact, along the Merrimack River tomorrow. Water experts are projecting very high water. And as I mentioned already, the preparation underway right there near 141 and 44. Water rising near Fenton as it continues to grow following the heavy rains in St. Louis. On Friday, the National Water Prediction Service is anticipating high crest of flooding in areas around Fenton. If you're in Eureka, if you're in Valley Park, or if you're in Pacific. As of last night, the water was rising along the Merrimack Greenway Trail in Fenton. Valley Park, Eureka, Fenton, Arnold, all of you to be concerned. And if you want to help out, you might want to call your officials in your local area, as they are having people step up and help out with the flooding possibilities. Again, as I mentioned, southbound 141 under 44 is closed due to flooding, and you are not able to access eastbound. They're expecting the northbound side to be closed most likely very soon as well. So just keep an eye to your Waze or wherever you get your traffic information. But in anticipation of the current Merrimack River flooding predictions, MoDOT has closed South 141 under 44. So pass that information along to your friends and family. The closure is expected to remain throughout the weekend. So just a heads up for you there. Now, from a national standpoint, President Biden is expected to address the nation this morning. His remarks come after the 2024 presidential election results project Donald Trump victorious over Vice President Kamala Harris. He is slated to speak at 10 a.m. our time from the White House Rose Garden. He issued a statement shortly after Harris delivered her concession speech, was about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, praising Harris for running an historic campaign under extraordinary circumstances. Some high-ranking Democrats expressed deep frustration with Biden for failing to recognize earlier in the election cycle that he was not up to the challenge. The advisors spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to comment publicly. At the age of 81, President Biden ended his re-election campaign in July, weeks after a debate performance that many say was abysmal, sent his party into a spiral, and raised questions about whether he still had the mental acuity and stamina to serve as a credible nominee. The president, of course, bowed out July 21st after getting not so subtle nudges from the Democratic Party powers, including former President Barack Obama and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He endorsed endorsed Harris and handed over his campaign operation to her. So again, he will address the nation this morning as the transfer of power is already underway. Well, we got some sports news for you. We've got a new first baseman. How about this? The Cardinals announcing Wilson Contreras. With Paul Goldschmidt hitting free agency, the Cardinals were obviously going to see someone new filling his shoes as the primary first baseman in 2025, given the self-imposed payroll constraints for the Cards this offseason. Signing a new high-dollar free agent first baseman wasn't in the cards, so according to news from the GM meetings on Wednesday, the Cardinals have already determined Goldschmidt's replacement. The new first baseman isn't anyone new, of course, to our team, but it's the old catcher. John Mozeliak told reporters yesterday the Cardinals plan to move Wilson Contreras. What do you think about this? From the catcher position next season, installing him in a role that will see him split time between first base and designated hitter. Contreras still has 3 guaranteed years remaining on the contract that he signed with the Cardinals before the 2023 season. So he didn't want to go anywhere. He wanted to stay here, so they moved him over to first base. All right, where's my Friends fans? This is a trending story today. Courtney Cox's daughter's mad at her for not hanging on to any of her Monica clothes from Friends. Courtney Cox says that Jennifer Aniston kept tons of clothes from Friends, even Monica's. They said she holds on to everything. Cox, meantime, kept nothing. She confessed, "I didn't love the 90s clothes." Cox is remembered, of course, as the prominent 90s fashion icon for her Friends wardrobe, but she might be happier if we all forgot it, she said. Her daughter, Coco, is so mad, and she said that I didn't save any of the 90s clothes, right? Because all of that comes back around. She says, "I didn't love the 90s. As a matter of fact, I could have kept anything on Friends that I wanted, and I didn't. And if I did, any of the clothes that I did have, like I said before, I just like to turn over. I don't want to keep the same things. I get bored. I don't like a lot of things. I don't have a big closet. If I don't wear it for a while, it's gone." If Cox's problem is the compulsion to purge her 90s wardrobe, her co-star Jennifer Aniston struggles with the exact opposite problem. According to Cox, she appeared as Monica in the hit comedy series, of course. Jennifer still has the same platforms. "I don't mean the kind you're talking about," she says, referring to the kind of cool, free, feminine style of age that Freud had previously discussed. She said, "I'm talking about the wedges, the ones with the rope around them." She would have taken those. She took a lot of Monica's dresses and she'll say, "Oh yeah, I used to wear this on Friends, and I mean, it looks great on her. She has a great figure. She's adorable." But I'm like, why would you take this floral little prairie dress from Friends? But evidently, she holds on to everything. So Courtney Cox's daughter, again, a little frustrated that mama didn't hold on to anything for her. So a little fun trending story for you. All right, it is 7:08, coming back on screen for you to tell you some things that we have coming up before we get into our interview of the day. Have you got your tickets yet for you? Or maybe you want to gift this to someone to come with us to our Feel the Authenticity workshop. You know, again, with the world that we're in now, the division that some people are feeling, it's just feeling free and having permission, right? Sometimes people feel like they need permission to be who they want to be. The Feel the Authenticity workshop is coming up on December 8th, and it will be at Yenology from 1 to 3. It is at 903 South Lindbergh in Frontenac, Suite 110. This is all about everybody coming and enjoying camaraderie, having great food. We'll have drinks for you. And then it will be a 2-hour kind of mini retreat workshop where we come together and help you through the holidays and get ahead of the game when it comes to New Year's resolutions. So I know 13 of you have purchased your tickets already. We've got, I think, another 11 or 12 that are available before we hold the workshop. So don't wait any longer. And if you've already bought tickets, spread that around to your friends and family. Share the love. It's going to be a really remarkable day again on December 8th. November 21st, we've got the Vault Luxury Resale, our fashion show. You've seen those in the past, I hope. If you haven't, it's a lot of fun. It's a live fashion show makeover. I mean, who doesn't love a makeover? It'll be at 7 a.m. on November 21st. I would love to see you there. You could be one of our models. I'm still having an opportunity for some of you, if you are able to. I know a lot of people say that they're at work. I've reached out to a handful of friends and family, and they're like, Monica, I'd love to, but I'm working. If you are able to, maybe you work from home and maybe you're flexible with your schedule, email me info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. I would love to see some of our audience that we haven't had a chance to meet yet to be a part of that. We've got 3 models right now, but we have room for a couple of more. So if you'd like to be a part of that, shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Again, that'll be on November 21st at 7 a.m. So a lot of fun things happening. And if you would like for us during the holidays to bring our show to you, we've got mobile Monicas, and I would love for us to be out at all these different pop-ups, all these different festive things going on around Thanksgiving and into Christmas time. You can reach out to me or anybody on my team if you shoot me an email, info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com, and start coming up with some creative ideas for us to be out with you for the holidays. There's so many really cool things going on, and we're talking about both sides of the river, Missouri, Illinois, or again, we can take this show wherever you would like. As long as there's Wi-Fi, we can come to you. Okay, so Mobile Monica from your business. All right, it is 7:11. We're going to take our first break, and when we return, we're going to be joined by Jennifer Warmann Bloss. We've got a lot of really cool things to talk about from the wellness standpoint for you on The Real Monica Adams Show. Welcome to the mobile Monica version of The Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. Here in St. Louis, you put us on the map. Does it scare you? You go through fear?
Terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Well, welcome back to the Real Monica Adams Show. So thrilled to have you along with us, and also very thankful for my guest that we were able to reschedule her when I literally had zero voice. We're all about wellness here on this show, right? If you haven't seen her, my friend Jennifer Warmann Bloss from Elemental Aesthetics, thank you for rescheduling.
Oh, absolutely. I think that recovery is a very important part of wellness, actually.
Well, you would have had to just completely talk almost the entire hour because there were squeaks coming out of my voice. My mom called to see how I was doing, and I was like, and she goes, oh God, just hang up the phone. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not talking right now. I couldn't believe it. I haven't had laryngitis since I was probably, I don't know, a kid. But yeah, there's some funk going around. You said that.
Yes, there's
right?
a funk going around right now. And it's a funny one because like everyone that I know that's been tested, it's like not the flu, not COVID, not strep. It's random virus time, and it just happens.
It's strange, I'll tell you this, because a lot of times and I haven't, knock on wood, I had not been sick for a while. And all of a sudden I was like, well, I guess this is just a sore throat. And it stuck around. But it starts, if you get this, with what feels like someone stabbing you in your throat.
Yeah.
It is horrible. You try to swallow it. I did not sleep. It was like late on Halloween when it first came on. And then Friday, we canceled plans. I didn't talk at all for 24 hours because I had to MC an event on Saturday night. That is what I think took its toll on me.
Sure.
Is that you're so strained, and then you're doing auctioneering and emceeing, and then when I came to Sunday, it started to hurt again, and then I had nothing. I was worried. I was like, oh my God, please give me my voice. And it's back. It's still, well, the funny thing was, my friend Michelle said, I don't know, maybe that 1-900 voice might work for you. You might get some more bidding Saturday
There you
night.
go.
So we are here. We were able to reschedule. We're talking about overall wellness. If you are not familiar with Jennifer, she is the owner of Elemental Aesthetics, and we're talking about the whole body. So many levels of things. We've been talking a lot about the esthetician aspect of Jennifer since 2001. So obviously some beautiful facials. We've been talking about peels, IPL. We've talked about microdermabrasion, dermaplaning. But I keep saying to you that there are so many other things that they can do as well. I keep talking about the salt room, so I just want to start with that. That and the bed, I really want to dig deep into. But from the salt room aspect, I talk about how beautiful it looks. You and I were mentioning that, like right now, with what I'm going through, that I could go in there, but I would need to have a half hour to sit in there. What does that all help with?
So the whole theory of the salt room started because in the Russian salt mines, they noticed that the workers didn't get sick. They very seldom got sick. And they noticed that pattern develop over time. And so they started to create these salt rooms, or salt caves is another way that people talk about them. And so, yeah, we have the beautiful salt walls, but what's really happening in there is we are pumping salt into the air. You're sitting in the room, you're breathing it in, and it kills bacteria. It helps with respiratory. It opens and clears everything up. So when you're fighting something like this, it's a fantastic way to just, it's got that antibacterial effect, but it helps you breathe again. And sometimes it can help the mucus move along and get
it out
if
of your
it's
system
stuck.
earlier?
Yes. But it also helps with asthma, allergies, and there's even studies showing the salt room can help with eczema and psoriasis and skin disorders, because for some reason clearing out the lungs seems to help with some of these skin disorders as well.
Well, and we're right into the sickness season, right? I mean, fall into winter. It's already hitting a lot of us early, and it's just going to combine with some of the things that Jennifer mentioned earlier. So we've got whatever this funk is now, but yes, the flu will be there.
We're in the season.
I heard someone already saying that the kids are getting pneumonia, strep was going around, all of this. So this is when you start thinking about the wellness, not after, right? It's being preventative.
Yes, you can actually use the salt room as a preventative, as a wellness technique. So we have a lot of options. In fact, we have a membership that allows you to use the salt room, the sauna, all these things that we're going to talk about today are on the list of, like, you know, if you have the membership, you get a service, but then you also get access to these wellness devices and services that can really help you just stay healthy through the season.
And that's what we're all about, again, is the preventative aspect instead of being reacting afterwards and being like, oh, all right, now I should do it. And then at that point, it's too late. It's already taken its toll on you.
I mean, it will help you. Like, if you come today, it will help you. You will.
We're going to do anything I can.
You will feel better. And so, but it is nice to do the preventative, even if you can do once or twice. I say once a week in the salt room through the winter time is a great preventative for disease.
Again, we talk a lot about how minerals and the mineral aspect of things that are able to help us. So that makes sense. Again, Jennifer Warmann Bloss with Elemental Aesthetics, my guest. We're talking about a lot of things that we want to dig a little bit deeper in that they have at Elemental that maybe you didn't know about. The salt room was just one of them. Let's talk about the sauna. So I've got a video that I had been showing over the last couple of months where you were showing me red light therapy, but you talked about how it actually changed to different colors. So red light therapy, first of all, tell us what that helps, but why the different colors also?
So red light is the best, just to be clear. There are things that can be helped with blue, or purple is like a blend of red and blue. But at the end of the day, the most healing, and I brought notes today because we are going to talk about so many things. So I'm going to make sure I hit these right. Red light therapy is just the wavelength of healing, of anti-aging. The biggest thing is red light therapy helps with mitochondria. Mitochondria is like the energy that runs your body. So when you're doing our sauna and red light therapy, so you're doing both. So the sauna benefits help with Alzheimer's, immune system, metabolism, heart, cardiovascular health. Like, there's studies that just recently came out that shows that the sauna alone, especially infrared, 2 or 3 times a week can decrease your incidences of Alzheimer's and dementia. And like, so much so that I actually work out in a sauna. I do like isometric workouts, yoga, that kind of thing in a sauna.
Really?
And so that's a way to really like kind of help. Yes, there is also traditional sauna, and they're both great. The advantage of traditional sauna is you can put some humidity in there by adding water to the rocks that are heating the room. However, you have to get it very hot, and you have to stay in there much longer. So infrared works by heating you from the inside out, and there's not as much sweating. There's not as much, downtime as it. Yeah, and you can get away with doing 15 to 20 minutes and getting a good result. What I recommend in our sauna is to turn the lights out, turn the red light therapy on, and really get in there, get a good 15 to 20 minutes at 130 degrees is kind of like the optimal. And it's amazing. It helps with the infrared, helps with inflammation and pain, and so does the red light. So now you're combining all of these things to really get a good wellness benefit and just feel good.
Which again is the way you're supposed to be walking around, is feeling your best. Inflammation, we talk about so much on this show, Jennifer. Inflammation and so many levels of what it does to our overall health. And we need to get rid of that inflammation. So the good thing about this sauna that you're talking about is more that, because a lot of people, they talk about not wanting to go into a sauna because they are sweating profusely and they feel like it's so hot and they just got to jump out of it because they don't want to be in there for 20, 30 minutes. This is lower temperatures.
Right. So you can't, you may sweat in there, but it's not going to be that like profuse head to toe sweating that you have to do in a traditional sauna. So, and the infrared works more on inflammation than traditional sauna also. So you have the heat benefits, metabolism. It's going to help with metabolism if you're trying to lose weight. And it actually helps boost your mood. And one way that I personally, in the summer, you'll think I'm crazy, I sauna a lot in the summer because it actually helps you not feel the heat of summer as much.
What?
So you are more, your body is more temperature regulated. So both for summer and winter, it's nice. You can handle the temperature fluctuations a little bit better.
Okay, so you're just setting the body up to go, okay, we're ready for this.
We can manage this, yes.
Yeah, we got this.
Yes.
Again, we've been showing you in some of the commercials, showing you the sauna and then the changing of the red light therapy to purple, et cetera, different colors. You actually have the ability to change the lights, right?
Yeah,
the person going in?
From inside the sauna, you can control the lights. You can actually Bluetooth in your own music, or if you want a meditation, whatever you want to put in there, you can connect your phone to it and listen to it while you're in there. Turning out the lights. We've got these nice towels you can lay on. And then we do have these like a shower wipe you can use afterwards if you do sweat. So you can do it in the middle of the day and then run off and continue with your life.
Again, we're talking about all the different levels of things that they have at Elemental Aesthetics for the inside and the outside of the body. You just mentioned your own music. I want to take a quick break so that I have my voice. A quick break. When we come back, I want to go into the room with the bed, and the music and the vibration and what that does. More with Jennifer when we return. I'm just going to say, come along with me and get your wellness that you need, as you can hear that I need. I'm going to be drinking a lot of water as Jennifer talks us through all the amazing things that we can do. I was just telling her I was going to head to the gym after this, but I think I'm just going to go over and get everything I need to get rid of this junk before I get into the germ tube of an airplane.
Yeah. That's right. Detox yourself before you
gosh.
Yes.
Absolutely. So many levels of things, as we get into the season of sickness, or a lot of people travel, it is to stay ahead of the game. Okay. So we've been talking about the sauna aspect. I want to get into the bed because I've been mentioning this a lot, but I haven't been able to go deep into how it's helping people. So first tell them about what the bed is, what it's called. So when they are looking into this, they'll say, well, hey, we're talking about this. I'm interested in this.
So it's called the Vibe Bed, and it's vibro-acoustic sound. What that means is you're going to lay on it. We're going to put headphones on you, and it's going to play calibrated music and using the vibrations of the bed to actually work on elements of the body. It could be mental, it could be physical. And the people that made it, the music is designed to send frequencies into your body to help heal the body. There's all kinds of data and research about this. In fact, I recently heard a WHO doctor talking about where she sees the future of medicine, and she said in sound therapy. So there's a lot of actual data that shows the sound waves, the vibration, and the frequencies can actually help have a full body like therapeutic experience as you're, listening to the music. So the way that we ended up with this bed is that my office manager Liz and I were at a wellness conference, and it was like an all day kind of grueling, amazing, like, filled with wonderful information. But when you're in those and your brain is just like cooked and you're fried. And so at the end of one of the days, she and I, they had these beds out for a demo. She and I got on, we're like, what, we were both kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if this is real or whatever, but we both got on 2 separate beds and tried it out. And I'm telling you, within 15 minutes, we were like revived, ready to go, ready for the evening, ready to go to dinner. And it was so shockingly effective. Like, I couldn't believe it. So when I brought it back to the space, all of the staff tried it. We have one staff member is just riddled with ADHD. We love her to pieces. She's amazing. And it was funny. She got on the bed, she tried the bed, and she was speechless after it. Let me just tell you, that does not happen very often.
I think I know who you're talking. I think it's not her.
So basically what we've seen is that it can help with anxiety, depression, ADHD, even just waking up and feeling alert. We have this one track we call the Cosmic Cup of Coffee. It starts out with a track that kind of opens you up to the vibrations. And then the second part is helping you wake up, feel alert, feel connected. And if I'm ever feeling tired or run down, it's a great service for even me to just use. And then we pair it up with our BioMat, which is pulsed electromagnetic field. So it's a mat that we lay on the bed. It also has red light therapy, like we were talking about. It has grounding, but the PEMF itself helps with blood flow, digestion. It helps with allergies and performance recovery. So I like personally to marry together the BioMat with the vibration therapy. This is a great treatment, maybe a good half hour, 40-minute treatment if you really want a great experience. And you can choose both on the mat, like what do you want to work on, body pain or inflammation, or do you want to work on fatigue? Do you want to work on your cognition or memory? Same thing with the vibration therapy. You can pair that up with different tracks, and now you've got this like really full experience.
Again, and you've talked in the past weeks about layering things up anyway. Like you try this together. Mm-hmm. Again, more benefits of it. So from a cognitive standpoint, have there been any studies for people that have dementia and Alzheimer's, and when they are on this, how often would they be coming in to actually see a difference?
So ideally with vibration therapy twice a week. If you're trying to treat something, twice a week is good. If you're just trying to maintain or improve, once a week is good. And you can build up and then do it less frequently, where you could go down to every other week or once a month or something like that. But it's an actual experience. When you do the Cosmic Cup of Coffee, for example, it's like being in a club, and part of it, it's like boom, boom in the body and everything's moving and you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
My patients are in there dancing.
Yeah. But it's all just music designed by an audio physiologist that's literally choosing those frequencies to help with whatever the track is supposed to help with.
And you said there's like 900 different songs and music?
There's like, I think 90.
90? Oh, I took it to 900.
You took it to
90, okay.
There's a ton of and it can be for healing or mental or physical, or it's amazing. It's really, and it's just kind of a cool experience as well.
And you've had that for how long?
We've had that for a year, and they put these at all these different shows, music shows and stuff like that,
sure.
For people that are into those experiences. So, but we've just noticed and it has a good following in our space. Like, people really come for it. Actually, we're going to talk about IVs at some point. And one of the IVs we have is called NAD, which is a popular Hollywood IV that people are doing. It's an amazing IV. However, when you get it, it's terrible. It's not fun. It's miserable. You actually feel bad while you're receiving the IV, which is crazy. But when we put someone on the Vide bed with doing the NAD IV, they don't have that negative experience with it. So they're on the bed, they're getting the IV drip, and with that one, you know, it's tough to go through that experience. People can usually do it faster if they're using the vibration therapy. So it's amazing how we can, again, pair things together. NAD helps with cognitive function and all kinds of mitochondria. Basically, the reason you feel bad with NAD is it's waking up all your mitochondria at once in your body. It's turning on all the energy sources of the body, which is kind of an overwhelming experience. And so while you're receiving it, it can be unpleasant. However, afterwards, I always say when I get NAD afterwards, I feel like I can take on the world.
Take on the world.
I feel like I'm invincible.
Is this like the one they were calling anti-aging?
Yes, it's.
So what is it that they're feeling during it? Because I think I had this. You have to sit there with
hours usually.
Yes, okay, I did. But I didn't. So I'm maybe a little nauseous.
Everyone's different. So yeah, some people get that churning in the belly.
Well, do they control though how fast it's coming in? So do you think a lot of them are turning it up too fast because they're
No, I think that everyone has a different reaction to it. I feel like an elephant sits on my chest when I'm getting it done. I actually get congested during the IV, but I'm fine afterwards. It's super weird experience. So some people talk about that elephant, that weight on the chest. Some people have the allergy style reaction. Some people have kind of like a churning in their belly, or they just generally feel off or weird or strange. But afterwards, you're like killing it. You're like, and it lasts.
I'm 20 again.
It lasts for weeks, and you like your skin is glowing like before you're done with it. It's crazy.
And you have to sit there for how many hours?
Does it depends on your dose. So you can do 250 milligrams, 500, or 750 milligrams. And however much you do is going to determine how long you're going to want to take to infuse it. So usually if you're doing 500 milligrams, we're going to tell you to expect 90 minutes to 2 hours to do.
And how do you determine how many milligrams?
I would say most people are going to start at 250 and work their way up.
Okay. How often would they do this?
You can do that once a week. In fact, NAD has shown just dramatic benefit for people with addictive behavior. They use it for addictive behavior, and but for addictive behavior, they're usually doing 1,000 milligrams over like 4 to 6 hours.
So we're talking about breaking addictions to many things as they go through this?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. Again, let me put up on the screen so that you all know how to get to Elemental Esthetics as we talk through all of these wonderful services and treatments that they have. It's Elemental Esthetics at 425 North New Ballas Road. They're in Suite 206. That's in Creve Coeur. You can go online. You can find out more about all the services that they have. You can actually book online if you want to, or you can call them at 314-279-6069, and then maybe go in and say, you know what, I don't even know where to begin. And so that's where the consultation comes into play, and they can really help you with all of that. Whether it's from facials or any of these treatments, they can help you with that. Again, many services offered, as you are seeing on the screen. Some of those that we've talked about and some that we'll talk about in the future. So wellness, overall wellness is what we're talking about when we talk to you about Elemental Esthetics. Yeah, a little bit more on IV therapy. I'm going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go more in depth into what people are doing, because I know there's one girl that said, can we all just kind of sit there and do our IVs together? You can't. You make it a party.
Yes.
What is IV therapy for? We'll discuss that when we return.
Welcome to the mobile Monica version of the Real Monica Adams Show at my favorite restaurant. There's something about a coffee house that's just very warm and welcoming.
Gives you that sense of community.
What are you most proud of since you've opened it?
I cry easily. I'm thankful for everybody here.
You opened the door during the middle of the pandemic. You got the best Italian restaurant in the United States. here in St. Louis. You put us on the map.
Does it scare you? Go through fear? It's terrifying.
So how do you get past the fear?
We find something to laugh about.
Welcome back. Talking about wellness, one of my favorite things. Again, all about prevention, if you can, right? We want you to go throughout the entire year and say, oh, gosh, it's been a while since I've been sick. And that's just because you're really boosting your immune system instead of something happens and you're having to react, right? I haven't been sick in a long time. We've been doing this show for a year and a half. I have not had to take a day off until Monday because I literally had no voice. And you heard me struggle just a little bit, but that's why we need people like Jennifer, our little angels, to come into our lives to say, come over here and get this taken care of. So we were just mentioning NAD. So if that's something that they want to have, they need to let you know in advance. They can't just come in and say, okay, like, can we do this today?
Yes. So with NAD, it expires quickly. So we order it based on you guys. So if that is an IV you want to try, then just at least give us a couple days notice so we can get your vial and your right dose and all that in stock.
Okay.
So
otherwise, other IVs, what are the most popular ones that people are coming in when they do their IV hydration therapy?
I would say the two that we have that are most popular would be the Myers cocktail, which is kind of a basic, magnesium, vitamin B, and minerals. Like that's a good one. A lot of people like that one. And then the next one we have is like the performance and recovery. That's probably our number one. It's kind of has everything in it. It has amino acids, it has minerals, it has the B complex, it has vitamin C. And I recommend no matter which one you do, you always, always, always add glutathione, which is the master antioxidant for the body. It helps with total body inflammation. It helps with pain. It helps with the liver, keeping the liver clean. And that's huge for health. In fact, we were talking about, shots also, because we do wellness shots if you just want to quick in and out. And one of the ones we do a lot of this time of year is called the Tri-Immune shot. And that is the glutathione, it's zinc, and it's vitamin C. And we have girls in the office that do it once a week just for prevention to help, again, through the winter season, to help just boost your immune system. That zinc, that C are great for immune system, and then the glutathione is great for inflammation.
So people that are watching that have never done any kind of IV or any shots, if they say, well, I'm at home and I'm doing my vitamins, am I doing my supplements, aren't I doing the same thing?
So the advantage of IVs or shots is they bypass the gut. So some wellness issues, health issues, makes the body not process as well through the gut. And so since we go past that, you're getting the full effect of whatever the vitamins and nutrients are. And the nice thing with everything that we do is it's all lipophilic, which means your body will only take in what it needs. You'll pee out what you don't need. And so you're never going to OD. You're never going to do too much. You're never going to do more than what you need. Your body will manage the process, and it's very safe, in my opinion.
Is there anyone that shouldn't be doing IV hydration?
I mean, there are definitely cardiovascular issues. Like with NAD, we do have to watch if people have like a faster heart rate. Sometimes it can be a little too much for them, but and there are other reasons not to do IV or injections, but I would just talk to our nurses and plan ahead. If you have questions or concerns, sometimes they will ask you to get permission from a doctor if you have some extraordinary circumstances that like clotting and
Right. And again, so Tabitha, who I met with, and she's phenomenal, still waiting for Tabitha to go on the show with us. So she will sit down with you and go through the full medical background and make sure if there's anything that she is concerned about, that she'll have you check with your doctor. She was an ER nurse for a long time, wasn't she?
Yes.
Like 17 years, I
think.
Yes,
and that's one thing that's great in the office. The girls that we have that do the IVs that like hook you up to the IV, they're so good at sticking you, because like that's the big nervous point. I think when someone's coming to get an IV is like the apprehension of actually getting poked to insert an IV. But all three girls have lots of ER experience, and they're great at just getting you very quickly and easily and getting you hooked up. The only exception might be is if you are severely dehydrated, then it can be a little more difficult. However, most of the time they're used to doing that in the hospital when people are much sicker than when they come into our office.
So how would somebody know, by the way, if they are dehydrated, if they're needing this? Because I think people that have never, and again, I hadn't done it until about a year or so ago, and you're going along thinking, well, I drink a lot of water. Am I okay? Or other people go, I have one girl that I was coaching and she said, okay, I'm just going to be honest. I drink like maybe 2 glasses of water a day. And I said, you're dehydrated.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am. And I said, 2 glasses of water? That's it? But there's a lot of people, right? They go throughout their whole day and they're lucky to even drink one of these.
Sure.
So if you're walking around in a constant state of dehydration, what kind of problems are you looking at?
The biggest sign is headache. If you are a frequent headache person, you're probably dehydrated. In my house, even with my own children, when they're like, I have a headache, I'm like, are you hydrated? Have you been drinking? Okay, no, maybe not.
All right, Mom, we know. Water.
So that's big. And I also am a big advocate for like the electrolyte salts that people use.
Yes.
I do believe that helps significantly in your hydration levels. And that's what we're doing when we're doing an IV also. They're doing saline or salt water into the system that really helps you not bring in the water and just pee it all out.
Right.
So you're actually like intentionally retaining the water, which is good for your, overall health and mental focus and sleep. And, hydration is like, we're mostly water.
Yes.
You've got to resupply that.
Again, and what it does for the inside of the body, flushing out toxins. You don't know what we're taking in and breathing in, what you're eating, what's sprayed in your foods, what it shows on the outside. People always talk about, when I start to drink more water, people start noticing I have this glow about me. My nails are better. My hair's better.
Sure.
It really is amazing. The greatest thing that you can have in your life is water.
Well, and one of the ways we lose it is through sweat. We were just talking about sauna. And there's been a lot of news lately about plastics in our food, plastics that, getting into our system through plastic water bottles and plastic ways we're wrapping our foods. There's a lot of data that's showing that the sauna and sweating that out can actually improve removing that from your system. But if you're not hydrated, that's not going to work. So
I was just talking about traveling. You recommend that people do different types of IVs before they get ready to travel because they're going to be around a lot of people. You're shoved, and I keep talking to that germ tube. You're shoved into this tube with a bunch of people and you hear people coughing and sneezing, whatever. What would you recommend that they do before travel?
So again, C and zinc and glutathione, all great. And so we have a number of IVs or just a quick shot. That takes 2 minutes. You come in, most of them, you don't feel much. The Triimmune shot is a little snappy.
I love that she's real, right? We want to be real.
That one hurts a little bit.
It hurts going in or after?
It does hurt going in a little. The glutathione is a little thicker product. It's actually easier to take those through IV. However, I love that shot. And if I don't feel good, I will literally get it without hesitation, even though I know for a few seconds I might be uncomfortable. It is so worth it. That's probably in our top shots in the office. And we do a lot of B12 and stuff like that also. But that one, especially now that we're heading into the season, is very popular and it just works.
Do you have to be a certain age to start IV or shots?
Generally we want you over 18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. We were talking about some of the benefits, drawbacks of vitamin IV therapy.
Mostly you just need to clear it with your doctor if you have certain diseases. Cardiovascular would be one of them. And we just want to make sure, no pregnancy, the typical things. We're not going to work with you on that. You should work with your own doctor on that.
Yep.
But if you have some clotting or things that we should be, please bring it to our attention, and we'll do a full medical history when you come in anyways.
Again, we're talking with Jennifer Warmann Bloss with Elemental Aesthetics, a little bit about IV wellness shots. The final part that I want to do has to do with stem cells. And is it exosomes?
Exosomes.
What's an exosome?
Okay. So I think, so stem cells, and we don't do stem cells, but we do use some exosomes. So I will talk about both. Stem cells actually, we do have one service that uses stem cells. Stem cells are, kind of what we regenerate from and what the core of our system, and it's how our tissues repair. A lot of people use stem cells, or sometimes you might hear PRP is a common practice.
Platelet-rich plasma.
So that's pulling stem cells from your system and reinfusing them into your system. And so stem cells are great. We're seeing all kinds of advances in stem cells for anti-aging. And I'll tell you, there are a lot of doctors in town, and there's one I'm going to try to get to come in with me on one of these days that can do the guided into the joint for arthritis or other issues with stem cells, and that can be completely amazing. They take your own stem cell, they whip it out, your blood, they pull the stem cells out, they re-inject them into places like your neck or your back or areas that can really help with regenerating tissue that is aged. And it's amazing. However, exosomes is kind of the newest technology. And they are basically the vesicles for communication. So they actually make your own stem cell perform better. And I think that we will see huge advances using exosomes, and we use them for skin health. I always say, if you feel like my face is glowy, 90% of that is my use of daily exosomes. I use them every day on my skin. I also do services with advanced exosomes, and we do plant-based exosomes. So they're extracted from plant life and then they're infused into the tissue, and it basically makes my stem cell work better. And we're also seeing that for health and wellness, where there are doctors now actually full body infusing exosomes. They help with arthritis, neuropathy, heart conditions, diabetes, chronic pain. I mean, I believe, and it's new. It's a newer thing.
Like how new?
Sure, it's been around for a while. It's waking up to where more places are doing it in the last few years. I would say stem cells was the first step of that, and now we're starting to see exosomes follow up, and sometimes paired together. The exosomes, then you add the stem cells. Now you've got the communication system of the body turning on, and the improved stem cell use for areas of the body that need help. And there is amazing regenerative medicine being done.
Yeah, I haven't heard of this.
Yeah.
This is the first time that if you all have, drop it in the comments, but I've never heard of exosomes. There was actually a comment that you had given me that said until about 15 years ago, people thought that exosomes were kind of like the sewer system of the cell, a way to get rid of waste. So what has changed here more recently?
Well, they've just kind of realized that it carries growth factors, RNA, mRNA, and it's all about the cell-to-cell communication. So it's really, an exosome is really a communication system, but what it really focuses on and where it really is active is it helps your stem cell perform better, your mitochondria perform better, and things like that.
The future.
The future
of regenerative medicine. So we're talking about relieving osteoarthritis symptoms, neuropathy, heart conditions, diabetes, chronic pain, trauma, right, from maybe different injuries.
Yes.
Musculoskeletal injuries, some genetic disorders, chronic degenerative diseases, combating age-related disorders, and improving metabolism. That's fascinating. So how long have you had this?
So we've had exosomes for at least a couple of years. We started using them with Agnes. After Agnes, and we saw such phenomenal.
Good old Agnes. We talked about see that a couple weeks ago.
So we saw such phenomenal results with that we started using it with other things. It's great for hair regrowth. It's great for skin health, skin disorder. But there are other, physicians, we don't do this, but that are using it for full body regeneration and all kinds of other regenerative diseases. And it's an amazing, I think just stay tuned. I'm just putting you ahead of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say,
so that you're aware of what's out there.
Well, I'd like to go more in depth on this, maybe in one of our future shows, and actually have somebody come in with us.
Absolutely.
That's had that done. And see how their life has changed with it.
Sure.
I always love that, to have patients come along with it. All right, before we wrap up, you also, because this has been in the media a lot with a lot of athletes, your thoughts on cold plunges.
So we don't have cold plunge, but I am a huge advocate of cold plunge. it helps. Again, you go to that inflammation, pain, and it doesn't have to be like, you see the ice in that. It does not have to be like
It
that.
just looks miserable.
It doesn't have to be like that. And I want to be clear, I hate cold. I hate it.
But you like cold plunges.
I do like a cold plunge. It is amazing how your brain wakes up, how your focus is good for depression.
Why do you think it's become so popular here as of late? Because I'm looking back at when I was 15 and playing soccer and in high school, and we used to have to sit in those cold baths for injuries.
Yes.
Right? But here we are all these years later. Why do you think there's been such a huge resurgence?
Well, I think they've looked at the Scandinavian countries and they do the ice swimming there, and just they've noticed the benefits of how that works for them. But one thing that I want to say is you don't have to do a official cold. First of all, they've learned the optimal cold plunge is at 49 degrees. So that is not frigid ice in the water temperature.
Right.
Okay. And really 2 or 3 minutes, you're good. Like that's what you need. But a simple way to do it at home or add it into your own personal routine is just try to work yourself into 30 seconds of cold at the end of your shower.
The end of your shower. Yeah.
If you can get yourself that, we already know it's better for our hair and
Supposed
skin,
to help with metabolism.
but it also will reduce your incidences of being sick. They say as much as 39% reduction in illness, less sick days by just finishing your shower with 30 seconds.
30
of
seconds.
Cold. And
how cold does it have to be?
You know what? Just do what you can handle. Like work up to it. My husband has been doing it actively for years now, and he has not been sick at all. If there's any testament to like that, I am not as consistent. I'm kind of a baby. I don't want to be cold. I don't want to finish with cold. But when I do it, and especially try to do it in the winter, I do get sick less. There's just something to it.
So as we wrap up, cold plunge compared to, a lot of people do cryotherapy.
Cold plunge is better scientifically. The studies show it's more effective. The cryotherapy is, first of all, it's intense. It's intensely cold.
Somebody had me try it years back, and it was not fun.
It's not pleasant.
No, it hurt.
Yes.
It hurt my bones.
It's a lot. And
My
I think
joints.
it's an unnecessary level of cold and time. Whereas a cold plunge, literally 2 minutes, 49 degrees. There are lots of devices you can even put in your own bathtub to make this happen. Mm-hmm. They've become less and less expensive over time. Or just do the 30-second shower thing.
There you go. It's that easy. Oh, you love her. Jennifer Warmann Bloss. Again, Elemental Aesthetics. One more time, all the information that you need for any of these things that we've been talking about over the last couple of months to help you. You can go online to elementalaesthetics.com or give them a call, 314-279-6069. And the address is Suite 206, 425 North New Ballas Road in Creve Coeur. Can I just follow you over right now and go get well?
Yes, please do. Let us help you.
Let us help you, Monica. All right, don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap up the show for you coming up right after this.
Monica's show. It's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
And you can see on the bottom of the screen, are there topics or are there guests that you would like to have on the show? Let me know. I'd like to start loading those up. If it has to do with the holidays, if it has to do with a remarkable person or a business, just reach out to us because this show is for you. And I want to make sure that it runs the gamut of all different types of topics and guests and kids and seniors alike. Love to get everybody involved. Wasn't she fantastic? We had a chance to sit down with Jennifer and record that one. Majority of all my shows are live like I am right now, but sometimes if people can't work within the constraints of the live 7 a.m., we can work with them as well. So Jennifer, thank you. We'll see Jennifer again coming up in the next couple of weeks. All right. So I am going to be jetting off to Italy. So we always talk about how the mobile Monicas can literally be anywhere. It doesn't have to be in Missouri. It doesn't have to be in Illinois. It could be states away or countries away. I'm going to do the best I can, as long as I have good Wi-Fi, to come to you live, maybe just sprinkling things in from Milan, and then the Piemonte region, which is the from the wine aspect, it's the Barolo region of Italy, Alba and Monforte and Torino. So we're going to be in Milan first for the first few days. We will go over to the Duomo. We're going to see the beautiful Last Supper painting. Of course, do some shopping while I'm in Milan, in the fashion mecca of our world, and then going over and being able to just relax, because the entire itinerary is set for us thanks to the wonderful Nancy and Carl McConnell, who own Stone Soup Cottage. For those of you that have been there in Cottleville for the last 13 years, it is now Le Champ de Fleur by Stone Soup. We know the level of what they do and provide here for us in our area, but their background is in the culinary and luxury side of travel. And so they have closed the restaurant down for about 4 weeks. And when they come back, they will be sourcing these beautiful truffles, white truffle season right now. Not talking chocolate, I'm talking mushrooms. They will be using those in their upcoming dinners coming up in December. So look for their menu, look for the level of excellence. They regularly get one of the top restaurants in St. Louis. When they come back from Italy, they'll be using what they source directly into their restaurant. And then they're going to be doing more of this, and they're teaming up with us. I'm really excited about this. A lot of you have talked about wanting to go on vacations and travel together, since so many of you wake up with each other and say good morning. And I love the community that we have grown. Now we'll get an opportunity to travel together and to experience full-on wellness from the retreat side that I will design for you, and the culinary side of what Nancy and Carl will do. So that's what this is about. This is a little bit of fun and a little bit of a business trip that we'll be doing. I will then be back with you live on November 18th. But let me run down, because my team has done a really good job editing up these shows that maybe you saw in the past, but maybe you didn't. And so if you saw them already, great. You'll enjoy them, because my team felt that they were some of our best. If you didn't see them, it'll be your first opportunity to do so. So you know him as the dancing UPS man, Russell Butler. You're going to see his interview tomorrow. It was very popular, but some of you may have not had an opportunity to see it. He has over 1 million followers. He brings joy to people every day just through his dance. But we're also going to talk about the mental health struggles that he had and has, really, and how he overcomes those with the joy of what he brings to the world and what he gets back from the love that you show him. We will have a really beautiful piece that my team's working on right now for Veterans Day, as we honor 64 veterans. Well, all veterans, but the 64 veterans that I had an opportunity to join on the 108th honor flight, the Greater St. Louis honor flight that just took place last week. I want to thank Rolando Lopez, who is the flight director, Carl Lund, who's a dear friend of ours, a photographer, Michelle Harmon, for tagging Carl and saying, hey, let's get Monica on that flight. I was able to go and do some wonderful interviews. We're going to sprinkle in some of that for you on Veterans Day, so please watch for that. Jeannie Baumgartner, which was a wonderful interview, the things that that woman has overcome, all the different aspects from when she had COVID and the complications and eventually having to be amputated. So you think about all the levels of hit after hit after hit, and how do you overcome and remain just so filled with wanting to give back to the world? Well, that's her. That will be on the 12th. On the 13th, we will have the Ferguson police chief, and we'll get an update for you, if we can, by next week, to see how the officer that was injured in our area, TJ, how he's doing. That is on the 13th. Dr. Michael Twyman will talk about circadian rhythm on the 14th. He was fascinating. Justice for Carly, what a really powerful interview that was. We'll talk with her sister, scheduled for the 15th. And then on Medical Monday, Dr. Becky Lynn. This one had to do with hormones, and Dr. Sarah Jensen. It was a really popular, in fact, one is probably, from a Medical Monday standpoint, one of our most popular, most watched shows. That will be airing on the 18th. So I will be back with you on Tuesday, the 19th, live. All right. Looking forward to all of that. We're going to end today with our devotional. If you have any questions for me or comments, squeeze them in real quick before we wrap up the show. But this is from our Jesus Calling book from Sarah Young. And on November 7th, worship me in the beauty of holiness. All true beauty reflects some of who I am. I am working my ways in you, the divine artist creating loveliness within your being. My main work is to clear out debris and clutter, making room for my spirit to take full possession. Collaborate with me in this effort by being willing to let go of anything I choose to take away. I know that you need, and I have promised to provide all of that abundantly. Your sense of security must not rest in your possessions or in things going your way. I am training you to depend on me alone, finding fulfillment in my presence. This entails being satisfied with much or with little, accepting either as my will for the moment. Instead of grasping and controlling, you're learning to release and receive. Cultivate this receptive stance by trusting me in every situation. Again, devotionals that we read when I'm at home, and then the ones on set are the 100 Days to Freedom, and those are from Stephen Arterburn. Just giving you a little faith, a little hope, a little optimism, a little spirit as you go through your day. Thank you, Kathleen. I'm looking forward to having a wonderful trip. Anne says good morning. Monica and Jennifer, thank you for all that you do for us. You're welcome. I'll have to look into more of the services. Yes, you and everyone else, be sure to do that. All right, as we wrap up, if you hadn't heard, when I come back on the 19th, we'll be recapping all of the incredible things we did. Keep an eye to my socials, though. I will be dropping in aspects of what we're experiencing and what you might be able to do in the future. If you've been to Italy, go ahead and drop some comments in. If you watch this later, let me know what you saw. Maybe we'll get a chance to do it as well. Again, those are the regions we'll be in, though. So we're not going to be able to go all over. We're not going to Venice or Florence or Rome, Sicily. I'm hoping that we can do some of those things in the future. But for now, Milan, and that I think they've got these big, there's a big tennis final, ATP, I think, finals that are taking place in Torino. So it's going to be packed when we get in there on Monday. Reels and stories will be filled with the beauty of Italy over the next week and a half. And again, special thanks going out to my sister-in-law, taking care of the babies. They were quiet here today, thankfully, taking care of the babies here at our house, watching our home for us. And that's always brings you a sense of calmness, right? That everybody can just be calm and warm and not have to disrupt their life. That is a sense of, I can go and relax on vacation. So I'm going to miss all of you, but I'm looking forward to the getaway, looking forward to bringing you all of this excitement when we come back. But as I mentioned, you won't get a live notification from the show, but there are shows that are going to be scheduled. So right at 7 a.m., just come to my page, wherever you watch, Facebook, YouTube, X, Rumble, Instagram, and look for the shows. I believe they scheduled them on Facebook and YouTube. So if you can use those platforms, that would be best. 7 a.m. from tomorrow through the 18th, and then you'll see me back live with you on the 19th. Thank you all again. If you're brand new to the show, just start spreading the word. We've got so many different types of guests that we have on. We're going to get back to some of our fitness. I might be taping some of that in Italy. Our fitness Fridays, our wellness Wednesdays, our medical Mondays. Starting in February of next year, we'll get back to our positive talk time and Wet Your Whistle Wednesday. If you didn't watch it, we talked about the Riesling grape yesterday afternoon with Chuck Gillentine with Defiance Ridge Vineyards. Be sure to support those that support us and then bring other sponsors to us. If you do, I'm going to give you $150 just like that, just because you brought a new sponsor to us or because you have someone that has us at their business for a mobile Monica. All right. Love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day into the weekend and can't wait to see you all again live on the 19th. Remember, go out and be anything you want to be in this world, but before you do anything, be kind. God bless you.